I don't know if you guys have noticed, but car design has always been a bit weird. From the BMW clown shoe to the escargot to whatever weird one-off exotic car design just dropped.
It's the biggest piece of dog shit.
We've had a lot of really strange looking cars over the last 100 years or so. But normally, those are exotic cars or one-off cars that people come around to. You know, at first they're ugly and then we start to like them. Those boring Nissans from back in the day became icons and now cost more than my entire student debt combined. And those old Toyotas that didn't really get positive reviews in Car and Driver are now worth a down payment on a house. Or a whole house. And even the most hated stuff from back in the day can become TV standouts, like the Pontiac Aztek. But I want to talk about cars that weren't designed to be ugly, they're just weird. Hello, my name is Ray and welcome to my channel. This is not a car design channel, but for some reason I won't stop making car videos because they perform very well. If you didn't see this last video, you should go see that so that video could perform well too. I want to start off going by country basis, which is when it comes to weird cars in a country that's really turned their car design principle around, we gotta go with the big dogs in Korea. I'm not gonna lie, Korea has been putting belt to ass recently. I don't know who hurt Hyundai and Kia, who are basically like 1/3 of the entire Korean economy and basically controls the shadow government. I'm not joking. But they're cooking up. And it's obvious that they have a little bit of influence from their friends over in Europe. Don't believe me? Alright. Here's a new Palisade, and here's a Range Rover. Here's an Ioniq 6, and here's a Porsche Taycan. Here's a Sonata, and here's a Volkswagen Jetta. You do the math. But when they dropped the Ioniq 5, we were floored. Car of the year across the board for major publications left, right, and center, and we hadn't seen anything like that before. And the Vision 74 concept car, the pony car that they took from their first sports car all the way back in the 70s and / the 80s and brought into this weird hydrogen-powered monster to tear up a track. I'm sorry, Hyundai's kinda cooking.
That's what I'm talking about! That's why he's the MVP! That's why he's the GOAT!
Their work is absolutely mental, which is why I have to ask their sibling company, Kia, if they're okay. Kia makes some excellent looking cars, and they've really stepped up from being embarrassing to be seen in, but sometimes they do things like this. The side profile is aggressive in the worst way possible, and while I'm sure it's aerodynamic, it's still kind of gross. But when you see a Kia, you know it's a Kia. And a lot of Korean cars might look the same, but one of the things that makes Kia stand out with their weird cars is that they have a really strong sense of brand identity. Japan, my beloved. Honestly, in the last couple years, Japan and their cars have gotten more boring. Now don't get me wrong, Toyota and Honda are still making some sexy looking cars with their Acura and their Lexus lineups, along with the refresh to the newest Honda Accord, Toyota Camry, Corolla, and Civic respectively. The Toyota Crown is probably the weirdest car that they make. It's lifted, it's sloped, and it has like this weird crimson chin bumper two-tone thing going on. It kind of looks like a poor man's Audi e-tron Sportback. If we're being kind about it, everything else is the same. And the same can be said with Honda and Mazda. Not counting their concept cars, they have normal, good-looking cars. And Nissan, well, look, let's be honest, Nissan and Infiniti are gonna die in like 2 years. That's not speculation, it's not punditry. They will probably be dead in 2 years. And for Mitsubishi, we don't talk about Mitsubishi. They know what they did. Subaru defanged one of my favorite cars, a WRX, to make like, I don't know, an Outback but smaller. I mean, it's certainly different, but okay. But it's my baby girl Lexus who's really bringing the heat. If you take a look at the new Lexus ES, this car looks sick. That hourglass shape gets sharper and sharper every single year, and it's like an even hotter Camry, which is what it's always been. Let's not sugarcoat it, but it's sharp. It's aggressive, but the interior does look like what Hyundai's been doing, so we'll have to wait and see. But it's the material choices, the quality, the reliability that really lends to it. I think the new Lexus ES is kind of a stunner. The Germans have always made some quirky cars, but they are very boring. except for BMW. I'll never do that again. I'm really sorry about that. BMW has been making some wild ass cars since forever, but they've been making some particularly wild ass cars lately. From the new M2 to the flagship XM, if you want to call it a flagship, or even their Vision Neue concept. They've been controversial, and while the Angry Bird pig snout look is certainly a look, you can't deny that they have their road appeal and they have their road presence. You look at a new BMW and you know that's a new BMW. Mercedes has also been doing something. They've rounded and softened all their cars in contrast to others, and now we have the EQ line, and to be honest, Mercedes is kind of boring now. They are all sloped and they look like Apple Magic Mouse mice. In my opinion, they made the lineup too similar, but we're talking about weird cars, so we're gonna go back to getting weird. The Volkswagen ID Buzz is probably one of my favorite new cars out on the market. It combines the classic Volkswagen bus look with the new age kind of styling that the Volkswagen group has been going with. Now, it's overpriced. It has god-awful range, but I did see one in my local university the other day and I had to stop the car and take a look at it. It's classic. It has road presence and it has a design that's striking. I want to put people in there and haul ass in it all the way down to the beach. I think Volkswagen did a good job with the design. I just can't afford one. Here in America, we're a little weird. A lot of weird. Some might say the weirdest. We made a Ford that looks like an Aston Martin back in the early 2000s. Why? I don't know. Ford bought Aston, so we made an Aston Martin Ford. Dodge made an EV Charger and killed it. I mean, the car is fat and weird, but it wasn't that ugly. Unfortunately, Jeep isn't dead. It's not even to say Jeep is weird. I'm just upset that they keep making them. And old Daddy Caddy dropped the Celestiq, which is a Rolls-Royce competitor with Rolls-Royce sizing and Rolls-Royce limitation. They're actually playing for keeps. The car is beautiful, the lines and the angles are stunning, the interior is breathtaking. This car is weird and I love it and I'm here for it, and if I ever get the chance to see one in person, you best believe there will be a video about it. The Silverado EV looks like a Hyundai pickup. That's the only reason why it's on here. Silverado EV looks a little strange. The Hummer EV looks a little strange. They're EVs, but they're trucks. And so they look a little strange. But when we talk about trucks and EVs, we can't, ignore the trash dumpster, Frigidaire, industrial machine cheese grater that is the Cybertruck. This car is weird. Love it or hate it, it stands out wherever it goes, and for all the negative press that certain individuals within the company has been getting, you can't deny it is one funky ass car. But don't tell me that it's good looking. It's not a good looking car. I also want to talk about the weird one-off companies in the US like VinFast and Fisker who don't really get a lot of sales traffic, but realistically, I also want to talk about Jaguar. The whole reason this video was made was because of their recent redesign. Jaguar has made some sexy cars before, and now they're making whatever this is. This Pink Panther-esque Cybertruck car. It looks like a shoe for a robot. I don't know what you want me to tell you. But going to another Euro company, I want to also talk about how Sweden's Polestar, a subdivision of my beloved Volvo, has also gotten weird. The Polestar 1 was striking. The Polestar 2 was accessible. The Polestar 3 and 4 are strange. The 4 doesn't even have a rear window, actually replacing your backup window with a camera system because apparently I guess it was more aerodynamic or it had weight savings or something. Sure. There's undoubtedly more rare cars. I mean, I haven't even touched the exotic market, and maybe I will if this video does well enough. What weird cars did I miss? I know we only looked at the US market, and I know that Asia and France have some really quirky cars that we'll just never get because of import restrictions. Let me know in the comments below some of your favorite weird cars that you think are being sold in the US, and let me know if you want to see me do another video on weird cars. I've been Ray, this has been my channel, and I'll see you guys next time.